On this episode, we're going to talk about whether or not having time freedom as an agent means making less money. Is that correct? Is it not? Let's talk about it. What is up, guys? Welcome to episode 295 of the Massive Agent Podcast. I am your host, Dustin Brohm, and we are on 1 million watch. I should probably think of a better name than that, but 1 million watch. Panda Watch on Anchorman was so much better, so much more dramatic sounding. But we just crossed 900,000 downloads for the podcast, and we are on track by the end of 2023 to hit 1 million downloads, which is absolutely fucking mind-boggling to me. Thank you so much for listening. Help us out by sharing this podcast. Any episode, whether it's this one or another one, any episode that you really like, that you think is impactful, that you learned something from, share it with another agent, share it with a team, post it on social media within a real estate Facebook group, something. Help us get those downloads up to help us hit 1 million. It's crazy how close that is, how within grasp that is. So thank you so much for listening and sharing and leaving reviews and all of that. Today, I'm going to tell you my story of struggling as an agent to now being someone who has much more time freedom, much more flexibility in my schedule, and making more money than I ever was when I was selling houses. So I'm going to tell you how I got there. It was definitely a bumpy road. And I'm going to address this common myth, this misconception that if you're an agent and you want time freedom, that means you're just going to have to settle for less money. Well, I used to think that as well. And I'm going to share with you what I've learned and help you expand your perspective, help you expand what you think is possible. Because I speak to a lot of agents, and it's crazy to me how many of you guys still, you're not aware of the possibilities. You think that, and look, I get it because I was there for like 7 years. I was stuck in this box thinking that success was just selling more homes and more homes and more homes year after year. And why do we think that? Because that's what our fucking broker tells us. Like that's what the whole industry tells us the goal is. But looking back at it, it's kind of self-serving, right? That's all your broker wants, is you to just sit down in your cubicle, make your fucking calls, sell more houses, do more next month, do more next year. But when was the last time your broker taught you how to get out of sales? When was the last time your broker taught you how to build a business? I'm finding out very, very, very few agents have exposure to this type of discussion. So fuck it, we're going to have it today. This podcast is going to be your connection to thinking bigger, to seeing what your possibilities are. When you have a real estate license, the amount of possibilities of how you can structure your career, how you can structure your business, all the different ways you can make money, all the different ways you could craft the lifestyle that you want, it's so much bigger than you even know. And so my job today is to help you think bigger so you can start to define what the end goal looks like, and then you can start going in that direction. So first off, last week we had the biggest influx, the biggest week of new members to join the Massive Agent Society ever. Like in the 5 years we've had the program. That was cool. So the secret's getting out. We just had someone. I got an awesome text from one of our members. They lost 10 pounds over the last week. It's so much. Being successful in real estate is so much more than just, here's some tactics. It's getting yourself, upgrading yourself. That starts with the way you think. It starts with the expectations you have of yourself. It starts with your physical health and your fitness. It starts with just raising your expectations. And to get that text that one of our members lost 10 pounds in a week, and another one has lost, I think, 30 pounds over the last 5 months or so, that I've been helping them do that. And it's really cool. So that's just a byproduct of our system. So please come join us, join this amazing mastermind of other agents, this amazing community of other agents all across the country who are all wanting more and leveling up like crazy. It's an incredible referral network. And we have the blueprint to make you a well-rounded agent that actually gets the lifestyle you want, not just here's how to sell more houses and burn out. MassiveAgentSociety.com gets you in. Come join us. I also want to make sure you guys are taking advantage of all the tools you have available. So Keeping Current Matters, these guys are like your own economists in your pocket, and they read all the nerdy shit. They stay up to date on all the housing data, all the economic reports. They boil it down. They predict. They do all this stuff to tell you, okay, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's important. Here's what is happening. And here's what it means to your clients. And KCM is a cheat code. And all you have to do is try it out. Try kcm.com/bam. Try it out for free and see what the amazing platform is all about. It is a secret weapon that so many of the top producers in your market are already using, and it's right there. Try kcm.com/bam. Check out Keeping Current Matters and see why it is a tool in the tool belt of some of the industry's biggest producers. And so is BAMX. Speaking of communities, the BAM community is absolutely incredible. It's powerful. It's all like-minded agents who are entrepreneurial and collaborative and willing to share what's working for them. BAMX is not just online courses, but it's a community of other agents that are doing big shit. Use code MASSIVE to get 10% off for a year. MassiveAgentPodcast.com/BAMX and get all of their online courses, all of the community, discount to events. It's incredible the amount of access you get to some of the biggest names in the industry through the BAMX community. Learn more about it, MassiveAgentPodcast.com/BAMX, and make sure you use code MASSIVE to get 10% off the year. Let's talk about time freedom. This is something that when I started out in real estate, it wasn't even on my radar. When I got into real estate in January 2011, here's what I thought success looked like. By myself, sell a bunch of homes, sell enough to where I could then qualify to become a broker, take my broker's exam, pass it, become a broker, and then start my own brokerage, start to recruit agents, and now I have my own company. Boom, rich, successful. That's it, right? Well, then in the mid 2010s, I start to see all these red and white signs with more than one agent on them. And I'm like, wait a minute, what are these teams? And they seem to all be with Keller Williams. I'm like, what's this team thing? So I start looking into it, and I'm like, holy shit, that they basically are like, they have their own brokerage within a brokerage. Well, that's interesting, because then all the reasons I'd want to have my own brokerage anyways, which is just leverage and having other agents sell homes and being able to share in the revenue whenever those agents sell homes, so I could leverage time. I could do that with a team, but I wouldn't need all the administrative bullshit. I wouldn't need all the overhead. I wouldn't need a trust account. I wouldn't need all the legal exposure. I wouldn't need all that stuff. I wouldn't need payroll to processing. I could just focus on selling houses and helping others to do the same. So for a while there, I had my sights set on a traditional sales team. And then I started to learn, okay, there's actually different types of teams. And my friend Shannon was leaving Keller Williams, and she said, hey, everything you like about them, you're going to like over at this place. And she just happened to be going to EXP. So she shared that with me. I looked at it and I was like, wait a minute, this is different. This is more like an operating system that encourages, it empowers, and it cultivates entrepreneurial agents to build whatever they want on top of their business model. And so at the time I was like, okay, well, what could I do with this, right? Sometimes when you go to the Cheesecake Factory, especially if you're hungry, for God's sakes, their menu is just way too fucking big. It's overwhelming. You're like, okay, just tell me what my options are. Like, somebody give me the In-N-Out burger menu so I can choose if I want a single or a double or fries or a shake. Like, just give me a couple options. Being able to do anything sometimes is overwhelming. You're like, what do I do? Well, eventually I got to the place where I switched brokerages. I came to EXP, but I met someone as a result of that decision that absolutely changed my life. I met my mentor, Clayton. This is someone who all of a sudden started to reach out to me once I joined the brokerage and I became part of his organization. And I was learning about this at the time. And he's like, hey man, I see you're doing this. You're really good at this. Let me help you build something. Like, let's go to work and let's do something. And I didn't know who he was. So I'm like, that's cool. I appreciate it. I've never really had anyone come out of their way or go out of their way to offer to help me before. So that was cool, but I just wasn't in the place where I wanted it because I didn't know who he was. And over time, I started to see who Clayton Gitz was. And I realized this guy has the lifestyle that I've always wanted to have, and I didn't know it was possible in real estate. He owned a real estate team that's selling hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of homes. He owns multiple businesses. On top of that, he started a mortgage company, owns a title company, a capital company, property management. He has all these other companies that complement the real estate team that he owns, yet he's working like a few hours a week on these. And I'm like, wait, so you're not selling houses anymore? He's like, nope. I started as a solo agent, got burned out, decided to build a business. And as a result, now I have full-time freedom and my income's never been higher. And it absolutely clicked for me. I'm like, wait a minute. I always thought that that you had to choose either income or freedom, income or time freedom, at least in this industry. I think most agents see that. Like, look, if you're selling 40 homes a year right now and you want to sell 80, if you keep doing the same shit and you're by yourself and you don't have systems, you don't have any leverage, that means you're going to be working twice as much. You realize that. If you don't have a business, you want to double your sales, you're going to double the time you spend working. And agents that do that, yep, they might have a great income, but they get burned out. They are horrible parents. They're horrible spouses. They're horrible friends. They have no life because they don't have a business. I met Clayton, which was very serendipitous, but when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And I put myself in a position where the teacher showed up. I saw the lifestyle he had and I said, okay, I'm ready. What do I need to do? And he helped me based on my strengths, my weaknesses, my desire, the lifestyle that I want, which is very similar to his. He helped me to build this non-traditional version of a team that I have today. And it's absolutely changed my life. I have the ability to, like, my daughter wants to go to the park. Okay, I'll go to the park with her at 1 p.m. on a Wednesday. If I want to start work at 11 a.m. because we're having breakfast with the kids or I just want to sleep in, I can. Now, it didn't always happen this way, okay? But I'm gonna go back to the middle part. What's important, though, is I found someone who had the lifestyle that I wanted, not just the sales numbers, not just the production, but they had the lifestyle that I wanted. And then I did what they told me to do. I just followed their blueprint because they'd already done it. They were a step or two. Clayton was a step or two ahead of me, and he already knew the path, and so I followed it. And that is such a hack. But up until that point, here's what got me to that point. I realized I didn't want to just keep doubling my sales. I was selling some homes. Look, I've never been this big top producer. I've never sold 1,000 homes. I've never sold 100 homes in a year. Like I've done okay. I was an above average agent, but as I was selling homes, I was also driving across town in rush hour traffic, having to text my wife, babe, they want to see one more house, or babe, this is great news. They want to make an offer, but I'm not going to be home for dinner. So even though this good thing was happening in my business, I was letting my wife down. I was letting my kids down. My business was at odds with my family. My business was at odds with my family. And I realized this and I thought, I don't want to keep doing more of this because that means more income means less freedom. That got my mind open to something else. And I started asking, how can I have more freedom and more income? How can that be possible? And so I just subconsciously started to seek that out and seek the people that have already done it. And that's how serendipitously Clayton showed up in my life. Because I joined his organization at our brokerage. And amazing things happen when you just set your sights on the end goal and you say, I want to go here. This is what I want. When you're clear on that, you just start to attract the people, the opportunities, and the resources that make that happen. We get way too focused on, okay, how do I get there? What is the how? What's the next step? That's important. But what I've learned is that shit fills itself in. That shit just it happens naturally, or it's revealed to you along the way once you're very crystal clear on what the end goal is. If your end goal is just doubling your sales, you're going to get it, but you're going to get all of the shit that comes along with it. The burnout, your spouse is going to be pissed. Your kids are not going to see you as much as they deserve to. So during this time, during this transition, once I decided, okay, I'm going to follow this blueprint, build this non-traditional version of a team, because mine looks different than Clayton's team. My team, the Massive Agent team, we don't have any commission splits. So the agents that are part of our group, it doesn't cost you any extra. We don't have commission splits with you. The brokerage pays me. I share in the revenue from the brokerage whenever our agents sell houses. So it's super cool. Now, my goal is to just pour all my resources into supporting and helping our agents so they can sell a shitload of homes. When they do, I make more money. It's amazing. And I'm not their broker. I'm not their boss. I'm just a coach and a mentor role. And for me, that works for me because the lifestyle is what was important to me. I knew I didn't want to manage people. I just didn't want to manage people. And so I built what I built today. Anyhow, during this transition period where I was stepping out of the solo agent role and building this thing, this massive agent team, the way that it's structured today, I took a massive pay cut. There was a period of time where I'm like, holy shit, maybe this is right. Maybe time freedom does mean less income. But that was me in my own head. I had someone who was holding my hand and saying, no, time freedom means more income once you build the system, once you build the business. Because once you have the machine, once you have the system, once you have the business, you can scale it infinitely, which means your income can scale infinitely, which you never could do if you're trading your own time for dollars over and over and over. So even though I took a pay cut for a period of time and things got a little dicey, I would realize now I was taking a small step back to make big, giant steps forward. And I'm so grateful for that. Had I not, if I didn't have a mentor, if I didn't have anyone who had already done the thing guiding me through that, I might have just given up and gone back to, okay, how can I just sell more houses myself and, maybe build a traditional team, bring on some buyer's agents and all of that. But that just wasn't the lifestyle that I wanted. What's really, really cool is the more I talk about this, the more I realize agents in our industry are craving this perspective. They're craving the knowledge, the possibility that you don't have to be selling houses until you die. Here's something crazy. When was the last time you were invited to an agent's retirement party? It's crazy, right? Like, I don't think I've ever even heard of an agent's retirement party. They don't exist. A retirement party for an agent is called a funeral because the vast majority of agents just keep working and keep working and keep working until they die. And if they retire, they're lucky, right? But there's no agent retirement parties. It's just crazy. So that's why we've built an accelerator for agents who want to build a business. If you're familiar with Silicon Valley and YC, Y Combinator, our massive agent team, the way that it's structured with Clayton and all of his resources and all of his support and assistance, we've basically created an accelerator for agents who think like entrepreneurs, who want time freedom one day. They're willing to do the work. They're willing to build that business in the short term so that medium to long term, they can have time freedom and then keep scaling the income up. So I want to let you know that if this fairly average agent in Salt Lake City can build a business that is infinitely scalable, that doesn't require more of my time to do that, you can too. But it takes deciding that you want that. Then you have to find someone who's already done it and then partner with them, work with them, hire them, get their help because they've already done it. You're beating your head against the wall trying to start a team. Why aren't you getting help from someone who's already done it? Who can tell you, okay, no, hire 3 buyer's agents at a time, compensate them this way. Then if 1 or 2 of them leaves, you still have 1 or 2. Compensate them this way, then do this, then hire this person, and then bring on these lead sources. It's already been figured out. Ask yourself, what are you trying to do? Are you trying, whatever that thing is you're trying to build, Are you beating your head against the wall trying to figure it out yourself? Because if you are, it's unnecessary. It's already been figured out. So if this is resonating with you, I challenge you to do this. I challenge you to find someone who has the lifestyle that you aspire to have yourself and work with them. Partner with them, become business partners, join their team, hire them, get them as a mentor, go to the events that they speak at, get around people like that. If there's certain networking groups that these people hang out at, go join it. If there's a certain restaurant they hang out at, go to the restaurant. Get around the people that are already in the place you want to be at. Find the people. Right? Find the people. If this resonates with you and you want to be part of what we're doing and join our accelerator, if you will, let's talk. Go to my Instagram profile. In the bio, there's a link to schedule a call with me, and I'll walk you through what we do, how we do it, and you can see if it's a fit for you. Our team is independent agents with all the upside of being on a team. It's amazing. Fully independent. There's no commission split whatsoever with us. We don't take any extra splits whatsoever. We just support, train, guide. You get all of my training for free, all of my coaching, the Massive Agent Society, my personal cell phone number. We become business partners. You become business partners with Clayton as well, and hundreds of others. These groups exist. If it's not my team, if you don't want what I have, you want something else, then find the person who has what you want and go get around them. Get in business with them. Get them to guide you down the path that they've already figured out. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's already been freaking invented. I challenge you to find the person who has the lifestyle that you want in this industry and get their help to get there yourself. You want to go down the path, have them be your guide. Have them be your Sherpa. Would you go climb Mount Everest by yourself, never having done it before? No. You hire a Sherpa who's done it many, many, many times. Find the Sherpa for your business. Once you do, your life will change forever. You may have to take a temporary step back. Maybe your income goes down slightly while you're building a system, while you're building a business, but it's one of the best steps back you could ever take. It's one step back, 20 steps forward. I've done it, and if I can do it, I guarantee you can as well. I hope this opens your mind to the possibilities that this industry offers. It starts with first knowing what's possible, then making a decision that you're going to have the thing, and then taking the step to get in business with or find the person or hire the person who's already done it so that they can help you do it faster and without all the pitfalls. Thank you for listening. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Let me know. Send me an Instagram DM if this resonated with you. If there's anything I can do to help you, if there's anything I can do to help you on your journey, please let me know. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week.